Hi, JT. So I got another rock background today. It's a little different than that one. Trying to find a 24-inch one. Couldn't get one in the 4-foot 24-inch size. So I got one in the 6-foot 24-inch size. I'm just gonna cut it to fit after I put it on. I'm gonna rip that open. Have a look, see what we got. And of course, open a messy one. Same company that made these ones. They're actually kind of made of a material. They come with stickers. Hello, Greg. Here comes Mr. Greg. They come with some two-sided sticky things like this. The other one came with 4. Maybe it's folded in half. No. Yes. Okay. Good. Yeah, one for each corner. Then what I do is I cut it up the middle. Cut it up the middle, and I make 8 of these things. So. And then it shows up like this, and a folded sort of material, and you just it's like a sheet. You just open her up, and you get your background. So I'm going to go put this up over on the 65 tall. And we'll see how this turns out. I don't know which side I want that to top out. It's going to be this side. Yep. We'll start, just make sure I didn't screw anything up. Should be the right size. And it is. Well, it's just an extra 2 feet long. That's okay. I might even just wrap it around the corner. So, get my way. Where's those stickies? Where's the scissors? Oh, Greg. No, you just stick them on the corners like that. When I peel this off, it'll be clear. You won't see it when it's in the tank. What do you want, Greg? What are you whining about? Hey, JT, just putting up the background. This is, these things were $6, so it was actually cheaper than buying the paintbrushes I needed to use the paint that I had, so I just went with this. Still black though. And still a lot easier. Seems to look nice in the Oscar tank, the other two Oscar tanks, so I'm trying to stick with the theme. There's a rock background in the tank upstairs too, but that one's plastic. And these are made of material. They're actually kind of cool. The reviews weren't good, but I like them. And they're dirt cheap, so I like that part too. God. This two-side tape's a bit of a pain though. I'll let it go. Sticks real good. Maybe can't get the damn backing off sometimes. Hi, Greg. Good screw deal on up, maybe. Wow, I literally can't get an edge. Finally. Okay. Now we can get it over there. First two in place. And we'll just start stretching and working it from there. First off, over the way. This. It's a bit stretchy, so you pull it. Get a nice look, nice clean look after. Get this going, but I'm gonna have to pull this filter. Not. I'm gonna slide it up underneath. Try. And you can come around the corner and wrap the corner. Just because I can. There you go, I'll get it all properly tensioned out and then the creases will disappear. And that's the general look. Once it's on. It's pretty nice. Not too bad. More hard to peel stickers. Yeah, cheap is always good. And $6 for a background, I'll take it. $18 plus tax. I just did 3 tanks. That's Canadian prices. It's probably even cheaper in America. It's probably like $4 each. We get tariffed up the arse, so. Okay, there's one. This will go in the bottom corner here. Pretty damn nice, not gonna lie. I need one more for the tank off to the right. And probably just gonna order that because I don't mind how this one looks. I always try to buy one and make sure I like it, and I'll get more. Instead of buying two and hating them. You just never know. Sometimes you get them and they're not what the picture looked like. But, these are looking pretty good. Quite some tables back here. Yes. Look at this. bottom corner. Straighten things out, probably get one in the middle, underneath, and should be good. Ouch! Stubbed my toe. Oh boy. It takes so long to peel a freaking tape, I'd be done 10 minutes ago. Oh, it's so frustrating. You just can't get the edge. Too goofy. This one's getting completely ruined. You can't friggin' get the edge. There we go, finally. But it works good, because it stays. Once you put it on, boy, that material don't want to go. It soaks right in the material. Grabs it. And you just stretch her in a place like that. Makes for a real nice background. I'll cut the excess off the end here. And we're done. Ta-da! Go have a closer look. Not bad. It actually like almost looks 3D. Oddly enough. Almost. Not quite. Should get a nice effect off it, that's for sure. And then if I stick the camera down the long view, I can't see this right now, but you should be able to see it in the opposite corner. And that's that. So now we got dark stony background here, dark stony background here, and dark stony background here, instead of my ugly basement wall. One little improvement at a time. And we got these guys. This tank's really fun. Mr. Greg screaming at me again. We got some text here. Let's have a look at the chat. Yeah, I know. Yeah, they're going back up. I've seen them for $7. I couldn't believe it, and they're such a crappy fish. Like they don't even last. Yeah, it looks pretty good, you know. I couldn't even get paint brushes and rollers for $6, so I was like, okay, I'm doing this. And, it's good though, because the upstairs tank kind of has a rock wall background. It's very similar in appearance, and so I'll just do it to all the tanks. I'll order one more tomorrow, and then we'll wrap up this this other tank I got over here. I'm willing to bet a 6 foot long one will even wrap both sides, the back and both sides, because this I think it was a 3 foot tank, and might be a little short. Yeah, you like him, huh? It's actually a girl. Yeah, she is huge. She's you know, they get big. All Oscars get big, but she's exceptionally big, and she's probably still growing. There's a chance she's still growing. Everybody that looked at her said they think she's still growing. So, right now she's 14 or 15 inches. I can't be sure unless I take her out and lay her down on a tape, and she's about 4-inch thick. Like if you look at the width of her head, she's about 4-inch thick. She's a beast, and it's a female. Hey TK, how you doing? You know what? Yeah, hold on here. We gotta get some of that going on. Just throw it some. Hello, Joe Abrams. He is a big one. Mr. TK. Yeah, I'm just chilling tonight. There's no real work to do. I put up a background. That was about it. She is a beast. I'm so happy to have her. I'm like, oh, okay. And that's how things have just been going for me most of the way. I mean, there's other things that aren't going well for me in life, but when it comes to fish, I decide, okay, I want to go for, um, I think I need a big tank. Boom, a big tank shows up. I need another one. Boom, another one shows up. And I'm like, I want to get into Oscars. Boom, I get Big Bertha, like an Oscar of all Oscars. And I get the shit all free. It's just hilarious. I didn't pay a cent for her. IBC tank, cool. A few fish, huh? That's probably a pretty big tank. What kind of few fish? That sounds like an understatement. I don't know why. I read it and I'm like, A1, A1 aprons. Oh, this is flopping the way I don't want it to. Readjust here. She likes krill. I bought frozen krill, and since I brought her home, she really hasn't eaten much. So today we got some krill in her, and I think when she opens her mouth like that, she's asking me for food. I'm not sure, but after I give her some krill, she stops doing it. Watch, I'm gonna go throw a couple pieces in for her, just for fun. Be right back. Throw some in. Just a couple small pieces. She better hurry up. That little guy likes it too. He doesn't notice them. Huh. Maybe she'll see that. Guess she's not hungry. I'll leave him there. I'll get him eventually. Only a couple little pieces, so. Tilapia, acacaras, nice. Babonas, ooh. Interesting fish. I can't have a pond. One, I don't have the space out. Well, I do. I've got a yard, but I'm in the middle of the city, and it gets cold up here, so it's just not worth it. Thing would freeze solid and get covered with like 20 feet of snow. I wouldn't be able to dig it deep enough to make it winter survivable, I guess is what I'm saying. We'll put enough water in it, it'd be okay, but I wouldn't be able to. Great, great. I wasn't gonna do it because I thought she'd kill him, but I was doing a live stream and just showing the Oscars, and I don't know if I should mention names, but a very prominent Oscar keeper that has probably more Oscars than anyone was looking at them all and told me the white one was a boy and she is a girl, and if we put him in there, she would likely accept him because um, she hasn't seen. She lived with other fish first of all, so she wasn't like used to being alone, and although they weren't Oscars, and then I don't know. She knows the fish, and she said she thought it would be okay. Like she was pretty sure, 90% sure. So I put him in there, and sure enough, she totally greeted him. There's a video up where I drop him in. You can check that out. I think I called it "A New Family's Formed," and yeah, they totally greet each other. It's the moments on video for you. You can check. It's a few days ago, and they like snuggle and they rub against each other and they do tail swipes on each other and they swim in unison back and forth across the tank, and the little one stays up on her shoulder. It's really they they like each other, like not even a little bit. The Oscars up in the main tank or the top tank, sorry, they don't socialize the way these two are. These two are acting like they're a couple, even though he's too small. Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's just warm. I would, if I was there, but I would definitely be digging ditches and making ponds. Let me tell you, I would definitely be doing what you're doing. Lucky you. Yeah, yeah, she's chill. She doesn't do anything bad when I put my hands in the tank. Um, she's supposed to eat out of hand, but I haven't done it. I just dropped the food in. Because the way my lid is, it's sort of a pain in the butt to get my hand in there. And it's too disruptive to take the lid off. She gets scared, so I just throw it in. But yeah, and she does this mouth stuff to me all the time. When I'm not in the room, she doesn't do it. Do it. This here. She does this for me all the time. And I put a camera on her and watch her when I'm out of the room. Never does it. Oh, your tank's above the ground so you can see into it? Does it got glass? Or is it just built up of like concrete walls? Yeah, I watch her, then I go up. I used to think my discus were pretty big, and I go up and I look at them, I'm like, wow, they're small. I mean, my discus are pretty big, but when you stare at this thing, I'm not saying I would eat an Oscar, but if I had to eat that, I could probably eat for a week off that fish. I'm quite pleased with how big she is. We'll see what happens with the other ones in comparison, you know, year and a half from now, 2 years from now. I bet you she's the beast and they're just normal ones. Well, I got one of the golden white ones upstairs there. They're he's growing pretty fast. He's a good sized fish already. And he's the same. He's from the same brood as the one down here, but I think it's a female, so I don't want to put her in there because I'm not going to change anything. He's definitely a male because a professional told me he was, and she accepted him, so he's got to be a boy. And the big one upstairs, I think, is a girl too. So I'm not. If I put her in there, they'll fight. She'll kill it. No glass, eh? Yeah, glass one would be great. Yeah, glass is so expensive. It could be hard to get to, so I hear you. But it would be nice, eh? Maybe one day you'll fall on a nice thick piece of glass somewhere, and you'll be able to do something. See, all you gotta do is pray to the tank gods, and they make things happen. They drop the biggest Oscar in the world on your lap. They give you all free 4-foot tanks. They just make it happen. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for him to drop an 8-foot, 18-inch tall 8-foot tank on me. That's what I need. It's a tall order though. Oh yeah, they've been looking after me. I swear. All I have to do is think it in my mind, and then boom, I got a 4-foot tank. Free. But the truth is, there's just more 4-foot tanks floating around out there, and in my city, there's a lot of them that people have been trying to sell forever, and no one buys them, and then they just want to get it out of their house, so I go take it. Yeah, yeah. Nothing but happiness with the two of them. Uh, June, they're just totally, really happy together. These two fish. So, and I figured out what she likes to eat. She likes to eat krill. She was holding out, so she's had some krill today, and I got a nice big slab of it, frozen krill. Keep her going for a while. Those pellets they sent with her, she hates them. She doesn't even touch them. Yeah, I know, eh? It's a lot of water. That's those big white ones with the frame. I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah, she seems to like it, so maybe that's why she's so big. She's raised on krill. I basically went through all the foods, and she was like, meh. And she was eating shrimp though, and that was sort of a clue. And I'm like, maybe she likes krill, and so I went and bought some. She wasn't like quick to eat the shrimp. She ate it because she was hungry. I had these other mixed fish cubes, but she ate one day, and then the next day she was like, nah, I don't want that. So she's a little bit fussy, but I got her figured out now. And the water temperature's been coming down because the heat wave ended, thank God. So we're approaching that 77 degrees. It's been steadily dropping all day, and she's calmed down because she was trying to make a nest yesterday. Bugs, eh? Maybe she gets some crickets. I always worry about the live shit and the parasites. But yeah, I could see them liking bugs. A little bit of duckweed made it into this tank when I transferred her over. She had duckweed in her bucket, and it's starting to. I can see a few pieces now propagating. I think I'm gonna let it go though. I think I'm gonna let it build all up in that lower tank. It'll help the cycle. $60. Wow, eh? Yeah, it is an excellent price. I wish I could fit one in my basement, but I can't get it down the stairs. It's too narrow. But I can get rain barrels down here, so I use those. You probably haven't seen it before there, Joe, but in the corner there I got two big rain barrels, 55 plus gallons each. I'm not really sure, but and then I've linked the drilled tank down, draining into that one, and the brown one goes into the blue one, and the blue one goes into the back into the tank, and they're all linked together. So it adds a considerable amount of water volume. Keeps things nice and clean for them. If I could fit your IBC tubs down here, I would definitely have used those if I could have. That would have been awesome. But what I got's really good. I put a bunch of pot scrubbies in the blue one, and starting to get more and more biomedia added. And then there's just going to be like a big super sump over there. We got filter shocks going on the pipes. Yeah, the aquariums are very expensive. I just got lucky. If I had to buy all these cash, I probably wouldn't have any, to be honest. Yeah, I like. Well, my tanks aren't for display because they're in the basement, I guess, but they're for display for me. I like making them look nice. Oh yeah, I didn't show you, eh? Take a look at him. I went and I got him, and he's not as black here, but look at his mouth. He looks like Sylvester Stallone. It's not very clear, is it? Why is it so blurry? All right, look at his mouth. Oh. This camera doesn't like being this close to the light, I think. It's too bad. Let me sit back and see if I can zoom them. Where is he? Anyway, he's got like a little, you know, Sylvester Stallone's lip goes off to one side. He's got that little deformity. So I'm just gonna call him Stallone. But he's a pretty cool looking fish. He was really black in their tank. It must be my lights. I don't know, or he just wants to show better color here. Well, he was like jet black in their tank. So I don't know. He's still a pretty fish though. I just thought I was getting a black one. Chat. Oops, I forgot to fix that. A little bit of that. And she's doing the lay sideways thing for him. Yeah, they caress each other. Yeah. So his eyes are too big? That doesn't mean he's stunt. That would mean stunted in discus terms, but it probably doesn't mean that in Oscar terms. I'll give you a closer look again. I want to see him. And I just have to stand back because the camera hates the light. Need better inspection. See his little mouth? I think it's cool. He gives him character. He eats good and he swims good. His fins are also kind of wide, huh? I might pick some crickets up for fun. Yeah, maybe he is a cross. I wouldn't really know enough, but he's kind of oddly shaped. Zoomed in on her. Yeah, we'll never really know, I guess, until it gets bigger. I think he'll make a pretty fish. Hopefully he's a boy. Can you tell if he's a boy? Yeah, I want to see what he turns into. Hopefully he's a boy, because we might stick him in with Bertha and get a better result. Although she likes this guy. So, maybe cross them and see what we get. Something fancy. Well, he's way too small to put in there. He's half the size of that one. Yeah, so he's getting washed out now. Mealworms, huh? Well, I'll go check for all that stuff. Waxworms, mealworms, all that good stuff. Not sure if the local pet shop down the street sells them or not. We don't have a lot of spots, so if I have to go across the city for bugs, I don't know. I probably won't do it. But if I can get it, a bike ride away, I'll get them. Your cats like it too, huh? Interesting. I don't know if Greg would. Greg's fussy. Sometimes I put down canned meat, he just doesn't want it either. Yeah, she's loving it. You know why she's relaxed? Because she grew up. Oh, hold on, I gotta show you. She's loving her life right now. Because I'll show you what she was dealing with. Okay. She was living in this tank all her life. It's 60 gallons, maybe 65, but I think it's 60 gallons. And it's only 3 feet long, if that. So when she was in here, she was probably about this long from the tail to the glass out to here. And then there was a little bit of room to turn around here, but there was a 14-inch knife fish also in here, and there was probably a 14-inch pleco in here as well. So there's 3 huge fish using up this volume, but it gets worse. It gets worse. This thing was also in there, taking up probably a third of, my hands are huge, taking up a third of the available space. So, like that's almost a foot wide, probably 9-inch wide. And then on top of that, they had this in there too, this log thing, taking up space. So it's 24-inch tall, this tank. 24-inch tall, probably near 2 feet wide, and 3 feet this way. Oh yeah, she was, and then they had it all crammed up with decor like this. She couldn't move in there. I mean, I know I didn't see her in this tank because they brought her in buckets, but they were moving out of town and they couldn't take the stuff, and they tried to sell it and they couldn't, and boom, I have this tank and her, and I took the knife fish in with the pleco to my fish store, and they gave me a bunch of credit for them. So the new Oscar was free, and half my food that I bought was free. So that was nice. It sort of turned out good that way. But yeah, that's she lived her whole life. She grew up in that tank, in those conditions, and they didn't clean the tank either. It was an absolute disgusting mess when they brought it here. So I don't even know how she did so well. She's got to have some Titan genes. Yeah, well, I'm going to use it to raise baby discus in. That was my idea for it. It's not quite ready yet, and I got some fry that just hatched out upstairs. So I got to work on this tank, get it ready in the next 3 weeks for them. Yeah, gut loading them is the way to do it. throw some spinach in there and let them eat it, and then feed them to your fish. Good stuff. I used to do that for my lizards, and I had like a vitamin powder, so I grabbed the spinach and sort of shred it up a little bit, and then I mixed the vitamin powder and I put it in there, and then they just eat it all up, and then I would feed them. Yeah, like surprisingly hardy fish, because the just looking at the tank, it was more than a year of never gravel vacked, never had its filter changed, like, but somehow all of those three fish remained healthy. Very strange. Yeah, it was just the one Oscar, and she pulled through. So even my tank here is not big enough for her, but she's she's loving it. Got a lot more room to swim back and forth. I think she's been having the best week of her life. She even got a new Oscar friend. Chinese water dragon. I have to look that up. I don't know what that is. Chinese water dragon.
According to Wikipedia, Visignathus cosinus is a species of agamid lizard native to southern China and mainland Southeast Asia.
Looks like an iguana. I'm sure I had one of those when I was a kid, but they told me it was an iguana. Yeah, no, I agree with you on the livable ecosystem, and that's why, like, I hooked, I hooked their canister filter up to the system, because whatever beneficial bacteria did develop in that tank, it was good. So I put more than half of the gravel into the barrels, and then I put all the seeded media. I flushed out the canister filter, but then I used its media, and I added it to the system. It's awesome. 20 years. They might outlive me then, but that's okay. It'll get sorted out. My youngest daughter works in the pet industry, so she'll know what to do. But yeah, 20 years. That's awesome. Yeah, yeah. There's no other explanation. And it just developed its own ecosystem. There's no other, like, how does that happen? And all three fish were perfectly healthy. Not just the Oscar. The knifefish was gorgeous. Wow, eh? 500 gallons. Lucky fishies. Yeah, these will be, even my discus, they can live 15 years. So, I'm happy to have them. It was a great fish. But they get over 2 feet long, and that one was already more than a foot. and I just didn't feel like I can accommodate a fish that big. Oscars are pretty much as big as I need, you know. Thing would have dwarfed the Oscars. Yeah, they were excited at Big Al's to take in that knife fish. Uh, when I brought those two fish in, they bagged them up to have a look at them, and a crowd of people formed around us as we were pulling them out of the bucket. And I think someone bought one of them right away too. I didn't care. I just took a little bit of credit, and it's good to make them happy. They're gonna buy all my baby discus too, and I'm gonna get cash for those. Yeah, well, you've got so much water, eh? So you can go for a long time. That's a lot of water. Yeah, me too. I uh, I actually enjoy the maintenance, so um, I don't understand all the this stuff with the green water tanks, and people don't want to do their water chain. Basically, lazy fish keeping. It's a thing now. It's a trend. I don't understand it. For me, it's looking after them's the biggest part of the hobby. And then if you're just going to put them in there and let them stew in green water, why are you bothering? But that's me. Everyone's different. But it works, huh? Because they're still alive. So tanks, but not always fish. Because sometimes they got blizzards and stuff, right? You got what, 3,300 gallons of water collectively? That's a lot of big tanks. That's a lot of big tanks. Yeah, I mean, it's your life. Just they get to run it however they want to run it. But I don't have to understand it. I guess is I don't want to understand it. To be honest, that would ruin the hobby for me. Yeah, reptiles are fun. I had a few. I had a boa, a red-tailed boa, and I had a Burmese python. I had the iguana. What else did I have? I had a veiled chameleon, which was great until it matured, and then it was a male, and he hated me because I was a male. He liked all the girls, but he wouldn't. I was competition once he matured, so he'd always try and fight me. Must have been hormones. I don't know. Like he could smell my hormones. Turtles, huh? I had a really rare tortoise when I was a kid. like one that's on the endangered species now. It was a red something, red toad something. I can't remember the name. I wish I had kept him though. He'd be huge by now. He was just a little baby when I got him. Yeah, yeah. But you order one of those sun UV filters and pop it in there. It'll take care of it. And they're cheap, like this thing here. And buy one of those for your thing. I think this one's called the JP23 Sun. And you just pop that in there, and in about a week, it'll kill all that green water. Even in that big bat, that little thing is handling 260 gallons right now, like a boss. It's only 13 watts. They're heavily underrated when people talk about these in videos. Heavily underrated. Yeah, me too. I try and get them in all my tanks because I've seen the difference. It's night and day. Since I started using them, I almost never have to use like medication or anything. So that they save you money in the long run. They really do. Far less problems if you're running one. So yeah, see, this once you use them, you see it. You just see it, and there's no turning back. Oh yeah, 20K on a bigger pond. Wow, lucky you. That's gonna be fun. Okay, good. I thought you were saying it was green. Well, that's good as long as you got it under control. But if you were having that problem, then a lot of people throw these in their ponds and they work. They got bigger units too, but JT, she's got 3,300 plus gallons of water collectively across the tanks in her house. You know, like massive tanks. The pond's probably a joke for her. The rocks, hey, no doubt. Oh, what's happening? Oh, I have to decline that. Decline that. What the hell's going on? Yeah, someone tried to call me. They shouldn't be calling me, strangely enough. Did the stream end? No. It looks like I gotta deal with something here, so. I thank yous all for coming and chatting with me. I'm gonna have to cut this short because I'm starting to get phone calls I need to deal with, I guess. Keep the pets over here anyway. Giant fish IDs. Cool, cool. Okay, guys, I'm gonna have to run. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you later. I can actually just mute this. I'm gonna mute this and leave it running for you because you guys are chatting and I don't want to be rude. But I do have to walk away.